Hello folks, I just wanted to summarize the activity that we did today, February 4th in class when we're studying the measure of spread with respect to the mean. So this measure of spread with respect to the mean is called our standard deviation. And our standard deviation is based on a formula we spoke about last time about finding kind of like the average deviation away from the mean. So in this finding the average deviation away from the mean, there is this formula that is involved to find a standard deviation. So this is almost like finding the average or the mean away from the mean, where we find distances between any particular x value and the mean itself, except we get complicated with squaring it, adding it, and taking the square root and stuff like that. So we won't go into details about how they came up with this formula. Let's just say that this formula is what we need. When we do this, I think the way to do this by hand would be to create a table and take out the little pieces. So first finding the average or the mean, and then from there subtract the point and the mean, or subtract the mean from the point that you're looking at, and then square that. And then after that you gather all those numbers and you add them all up, divide by n minus 1, and then take the square root. So that's a complicated set of steps, and there is a super quick way of doing it. But before we do the quick way, let's do the step-by-step process using Excel or using Google Sheets. So here's our Google Sheets. This is the formula for our reference. Just put it off to the side there. And these are our data points, which is a small amount. So we'll call this x, as in those are the x values that we're looking at. And then we want to find the average, the mean of that. So to get the mean, we'll label this down here, mean, or x bar. And then this is going to be the average of all these points over here. So the Google Sheets was able to find all that stuff for me. So right now I'm seeing A5, so I did something there where I didn't highlight everything. So oops, something's happening. There we go. And our mean is going to be 5.25. So maybe we might take this and put it off to the side here as some piece of information that we'll need. Okay, now we want to say x minus x squared, or x minus x bar. So we'll do that here. X minus x bar. And that would be whatever x value is here, and then subtract 5.25. So in this slot over here, I will say equals, type in the equal sign, and I will hit this number as in x, and then I'll say minus, and then x bar is 5.25. So I'm going to type that up. There's a way to click on this number, but then we have to kind of be careful about accessing that, and there's some dollar signs involved, so I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to type in a number. And it says there's a suggestion of autofilling, and the autofilling will use the formula. So the formula will be, for the next one, well, for the first one is A2 minus 5.25. For the next one, it's going to be A3 minus 5.25, etc. So this is pretty much what I want. So these are all the x minus x bar quantities. Now I want to square it. So I'll, in this next column, I'll say x minus x bar quantity squared. And the squaring symbol, both in the symbol that I'm going to use and in the formula that I'm going to use, is that caret 2. The caret is that number above the 6. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll say equals, and then I have x minus x bar in the previous column. I'm going to click on that, and then I'll do that caret 2, as in squaring it, and then press enter. And then again, it's an autofill, so it's just taking that number and then squaring it, then that's a good autofill that I want. All right, this is encroaching on some of the notes that we have, so let's move these notes over a little bit, and then we can keep going. Well, I don't think we need any more column space because we have x minus x bar quantity squared, and now we just want to add up all these numbers. So the sigma here, the sigma symbol means sum, so I'm going to put it in the space below, equals. I just press equals, and then they have a suggestion for me, and it looks like it's exactly what I want. You want to be careful about like just saying, oh yeah, that's what I want, and hit OK. In this case, it is. So it's like AI. You know, they say this is my suggestion, AI suggestion. Better check it to make sure. Well, I think this is good, and this is going to be the sum. So that's the numerator. And now I want to take that and divide it by n minus 1. Now n is equal to 4 because I have 4 numbers in the original data, so I really want to divide it by 3. So in this next space down below, I'll say equals, and then it's the previous number divided by n minus 1. So n is equal to 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. I'll just put 3 there, and that's the 14. And then that's not quite it. I need to finally take the square root of whatever this number is. So down in the next space, I'll say equals, and the square root is SQRT in Google Sheets. So open parentheses, and I want to click on this number because this is the number I want to take the square root of. And I have 3.8622. So generally, if your numbers are whole numbers, you're going to want to round this off to the final answer to just 1 decimal point. Okay, but I'll leave it like that. This is your standard deviation. So that is kind of using that formula and using the table, but let me show you how to do it using just a special command in Google Sheets. And the special command is called, well, 1StDev. So in this place where I want the number, I will say equals, and I will say 1StDev, and when I see that, I see a bunch of options. You're just going to choose the first one. There's one for the population, there's one where some values included, there's the .s for the sample, and so there's a lot of different ones, but we're going to choose the first one. And then we're going to, I don't want this, I want this data, the x value data. All right, so we're going to grab that, highlight it, and then press enter. And then I hope you can see that the value that we did using the table and the value that we did using the formula are exactly the same. Okay, so that's how you find the standard deviation for a set. All right, that's the first part. I hope that helps, and good luck.